All right, everybody, can you hear me? We are 5 minutes after the hour. I show 33 viewers, so let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me okay. Before I get started, I want to make sure we got audio issues worked out. All right, everybody can hear me, which is fantastic. I do have this on ultra low latency, but that still means there's, probably a 10 or 12 second delay. So if you hear me talking way after you ask a question or something like that, that's why. Hey, Numismatic History. How are you, buddy? I've said hello to most of you that were already in the chat prior through chat. So today, as you guys can see, I do have 2 boxes of halves. I have opened them. I did not see any enders, and I don't recall seeing tons of new coins, but there were some new, like 2021 and 2023 enders. I am happy to take box donations for tonight, but if no one's interested, that's cool. We'll still just go ahead and I'll open them, and you guys can just come along for the ride. Either way, no pressure. It's just cool for me, but I got to get through these halves and thought it'd be more fun to hang out with you guys than record a video. Hey, Brian Jarvis, welcome to the stream. And I did take some of the comments from our last stream to heart. I know some of you guys were looking forward to there being a widescreen stream rather than the vertical. I tried the vertical a couple of nights over the last month, and I'm not a huge fan, but it is something that is catching on YouTube, and I figured today we would go wide for people who prefer the larger screen. So Pop's Gone Wild, if you want to donate, it's $50. If you look in the description, I list my Cashapp, which I prefer because I don't pay fees on that, or my PayPal is down there. Both boxes, as far as I know, are currently available. Let me just go make sure I haven't gotten any donations since. But yeah, just let me know you're interested before you send the donation in, because I don't want a bunch of people to send me money and then I got to refund it, because that's no fun either. So no, I don't want to set up auto transfers, PayPal. Where's the button? There it is. Yeah, so nothing there. Where's my live stream? Live stream's there. So that's how you can do it. Just let me know you're interested, and you could just shoot me over that donation, and we'll let, whoever does it, you'll get to picks. We'll have box 1, box 2, and you can choose your box, and we'll get started. Hey, Kevin Hawthorne, welcome to the stream. I've had a lot of purchases on my little website of late. I guess my 3D printed tubes are a little bit of a hit. I've sold a handful of those this week. And Pete, I know you said thanks. Everybody that's ordered from me or want a GAW in the last couple of weeks, everything has gone out as of this morning. Some stuff went out yesterday, and I had a bunch of stuff boxed up over the weekend. So if you're waiting on anything from me, it's in the mail. Hey there. How do I say that? Gatita Oso? I'm not sure if that's right. Hello there, fellow Georgian. Whereabouts in Georgia are you from? John, are we going to do any giveaways? I'm sure I'll do at least one giveaway along the way. If not, we'll do something end of stream. Because I don't live stream a lot. I don't have a lot of plans. We just go live and figure it out as we go. But I'm sure we will give something away before the night is out. So we'll be doing that. And I'll be chatting about all manner of stuff. You guys are always welcome to ask me anything in the chat. Of course, I always have the right to not answer questions, but I do enjoy answering viewer questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. So you're approximately 1 hour west, Atlanta I-20 near Alabama line. Okay, yep. So you're kind of, I think is Birmingham out 20, or is that down kind of, I think Birmingham's down 20. So, okay, we got 22 in the chat. So we went from 33 to 22 in a hurry. So Pops, you want to donate, but I'm an idiot. I can't find the donation link. So I don't believe I've got a link in the description. You can just go to PayPal or Cash App. I'm just going to double check here real quick. I have it, my actual particulars are in there. And I think we can also do this. If you do !donate in the chat, I think it actually will show up in there as well. Let's see if... So yeah, you can do any of the things in there. My PayPal is my email address, so gasilverhunter@gmail.com. And my Cash App is $, I think GA Silver. Just looking it up to be sure, because I don't ever Cash App myself. And actually, I think I've got them. Yeah, I've got them actually over on the right-hand side of the screen. The Zelle, the Cash App, and the PayPal over there. So those are in there. It's right on the screen. Hey, Create Craft, how are you? Yep, Marietta's pretty big. Lots of folks know Marietta. Hey, Tracy Pratt, welcome to the stream. Hopefully we will find some silver. I know our last live stream we found some silver. My last set of boxes that I did myself, we had some silver. Hopefully these will continue it. But Pops, let me know what form of sort of funding you're going to use, and I can just double check that, and we'll go ahead and get started. You can let me know what box you want to do, and we'll get going. Mr. Texan in North Carolina. That's what I'm guessing the NC stands for. Thank you, Julianne. I've always got my fingers crossed. Now, if you guys watched my nickel hunt, we found some silver in that box, and I've actually already filmed another nickel hunt, and we got some silver in that. So it's been, I won't say plentiful, but it seems to have been a steady stream of late. I'm always happy if I just get one these days, but it's nice when you get 3 or 5 or 10 or 15. I don't know foreign coins really well. I have a handful of foreign coins, but I know some of them. I've got a bunch of silver ones. I've got a bunch of junk ones. I've got all kinds of stuff. So if you have questions about specific coins, I might not know the answer, but always happy to try to help if I can. So pre-60s is nice. Yeah, Create Craft in a box of nickels these days, if you're getting kind of 15 to 25 fines, which I would consider 59 or earlier, you're doing pretty well in a box of nickels these days. But war nickels can be elusive. I know last year I went probably 8 or 10 or 15 nickel boxes without any silver. All right, let me know when it's done. I've got PayPal pulled up, and I'll see that come in. And you're going to do box number 1, which will be this guy over here on the left. And I opened these boxes, I think, on Friday or Saturday. I haven't looked at them since. So I couldn't tell you what each box looked like, because I just don't remember. So Create Craft, the day you find your first V-nickel will be a special day. Finding V-nickels is awesome. How do you highlight someone's name in the live stream? So John, if you @ symbol and then their name. So like for me, if you @ GA space silver space hunter, it will highlight, but only for that person. It won't highlight for everybody, as far as I know. Gem 45S War Nickel, almost, yeah. So Timothy, I've done that before as well. I have found like practically an AU War Nickel, and it wasn't the kind of gunmetal color. It looked like any other nickel. And that's why, man, you got to look at every one of them. Yeah, Julianne, if you do the @ and put the name in, for me, if you need to get my attention or you're writing something to me, if you @ GA Silver Hunter, it makes it really easy for me to see. So that's the way you do it. Let me know there, Pops, if you got it figured out. I'm kind of still refreshing PayPal here. I don't see anything that has come through yet. And you did say box number 1. And I may work on my zoom here a little bit. I may be zoomed in a little too far. Let's do that. That's probably a little better. So Create Craft, I have a whole tube of whatever the first year V-nickel is, the 1893 or whatever. and unfortunately they're all the whatever no sense version or the sense version. It's the less valuable one, but I have a whole tube of them I got in a coin collection that I bought. Let's do 2 so you can get going. All right. Well, I'll give you another second, because if you want number 1, I'll let you figure out PayPal here. I got a question about how the chest is looking. It's looking really good. Hopefully that all fits. So that's my little chest here. And it's a little hard to see depth on the camera, so I'll try to tilt this. But so I've got some stuff flipped up. Those are those beautiful 68s that I found the other day. I went ahead and just to protect them because they were so pretty. And I've got a 64 triple die. And all that is the rest. We're well over 100 silvers this year. We've got silver quarters, silver nickels, silver dimes in there. Here's that Stone Mountain we found much earlier in the year. I did go ahead and flip that up, but the silver chest is looking really, really good. All right, let's see here. How's the chest looking? We got that. Still a good piece of history. Yep. Finding silver rolls is awesome. Yeah, my video's at least 15 seconds behind. And let me get my stream stuff updated. So give me just a second here. And then I'll shut up and we'll get into some rolls here. I know that's what you guys are here to see. So we don't have any proofs. We haven't opened any rolls yet. We don't have any NIFCs. There we go. All right. Thanks, Numismatic History. Appreciate it. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get into box number 2. In case does anybody want box number 2? Because Pops is trying to figure out PayPal. So just real quick, anybody want box number 2? I'll go ahead and get into that while Pops figures out PayPal. Yeah, Numismatic History, your Henning Nickel album did fantastic. It's too bad you were not monetized when you posted that. I looked at it, and it was crazy how many views that thing got. So, Dumps, you want box number 2? Yeah, if you could PayPal or Cash App me the donation amount, we'll go ahead and if you get there first, we'll go ahead and get into box number 2, because Pops has already claimed box number 1. He's still just figuring out the donation bit, so... All right, let's see here. Pop's got it figured out. I think so. He did. Very nice. Thank you so much. So I tell you what, we'll get into box number 1 since he got that figured out. We'll go ahead and get started. Yeah, it did really, really well. I was kind of jealous about it, and I've thought about doing a Henning Nickel video and just never did. And you hit the gold mine with that, man. All right, so here's box number 1. Let me slide box number 2 a little bit out of the way. Quick plug. Great book. If you guys don't have it, link in the description. Strike a Rich with Pocket Change. Your coin roll hunter must get. All right, here's box number 1. Let's have a quick look. As I said, I've already opened it, so I've seen these. We do. It looks like this one's going to have at least one newer coin here. And for the donations, if you haven't looked, I did list in the description kind of what we do here. So if you get silver skunked, I'll still throw in a 90% silver, so you're not going away empty-handed. You can get any of the varieties, the errors, if we find them. If the miscellaneous coins are cool, I'll throw them in. NIFCs, I can either trade out for silver. So if, let's say, you find $3 worth of NIFCs, I can trade that out for its proper amount in silver. Or if you prefer to get the NIFCs, I'll send you one of each mint mark. So if we get 37, 2020 Philadelphias. I'm not going to send you 37 2020 Philadelphias, but you get one of each of those. And of course, proofs, which I don't think I listed in the description, we'd send those on as well. I checked for all DDOs and no FGs. Pop's gone wild. Thanks, Dumps. Appreciate it. I'll double check that when we get to you. So let's go ahead and get started. And once I get coin roll hunting, I'm less good at paying attention to the chat, so I'll try to look up every now and again. And here we go. So roll number 1 for Pop's Gone Wild. That's a DVD that I do not want to buy, but sounds like a cool name. And we are going to have new stuff in here. Now, I do not consider the 21... how will we do this? We'll go through it this way. I do not consider the 21, 22, and 23 to be NIFCs, just like Redbook. But for the donations, if you guys want a 21, 22, or 23, I'm happy to throw that in. So Pops, let me know in the chat. I'll go ahead and put, here's a 21 Philly. Not an NIFC, but I know some people are trying to fill out collection books, so I will... and anything I put over here, we're going to put under the scope after I get to the end of the roll. There's our 73. There's a 23D. Another 23D. We'll make some stacks. And if you don't want them, I will happily throw them back because it saves me on weight on shipping. That's another 23 and a 73. And I'm going to have to, we are going to have to do that so I can see it better. That's much better. And here's our 71D. Not seeing it. Hey, John in Northern Michigan. So when you say keep the 21, 22, 23, I assume you mean you want me to keep them and toss them back. Yeah, John, ads are annoying, and I meant to turn them off, and I forgot, so apologies for that. It is going to throw ads at you guys every now and again, and it does it randomly, and it's never at the same time for everyone. So apologies. That was something I'll have to set for next time. 21s, 23s. So for those of you guys that are new, I'll just put that aside in case we need to clarify there. The varieties that I look for are mainly our DDOs and our no FGs. So the DDOs are your 71D, 73D, 74D. And then your no FGs are your 72. I'm trying to remember. It's your 72, I think, Denver, your 82P, and your 83P. I'm going to just save up a stack of these to put under the scope so we can keep things moving, and maybe every 5 rolls we'll scope some stuff. But that's what I hunt for. Every coin roll hunter is a little bit different. Pay the $13.99 a month. Is that for YouTube without ads? Hang on here. What am I doing? All of those I need to check. Got lots of 21s and 23s in this box. All right, we got a proof. We got you your first find. Let's have a look at this thing. We got ourselves an 81S. Thought it looked a little funny. You can see that little bit of mirror finish. It's seen its days of circulation, but it is a proof, so we'll hang on to that. So Pop's Gone Wild, that one's for you for sure. Let me see here on my screen. So we'll put that over here for you. So very cool, first find of the hunt. And I don't scope the NoFGs. I can kind of see those without putting them under the scope. So, yeah, I've done the free trial for premium, but I've never actually paid for it. That guy just looked like it might be another proof, but it wasn't. The 77D also has a DDO. I'll check that one. '74 has a DDO. That 77's too ugly that even if it did, it's not really worth it. I'll do one more roll and then we'll scope some stuff. Can't wait to get back in the game. Been gone a while. Hey, yeah, coin roll hunting is one of those things that, you know, for 3 years, better part of 4 years, I never, like every week, I just look forward to picking up my coins and sitting down for like, you know, a couple hours on a weekend and going through them. And then, you know, just life gets really busy for me this time of year. And there's been a few times where I've been going to the bank going, I don't even want to look through this stuff this weekend. But I do enjoy it while I'm doing it. It's just sometimes it after 4 years, you feel like you need just a little bit of a break, you know? But I do enjoy doing it. Oh, I said I was going to scope some stuff after that roll, and I cheated. Got into roll number 6. Somebody invariably asks me about bicentennials. Do I keep them? And if I don't know how well you guys can see this as I go through, but in any box of $50, probably a third of it is bicentennials. And so, no, I don't hang on to them because I would be broke filling tubes of $50. All right, we got a bunch of stuff to scope here. Let's just do this real quick. No on the 74. And if you guys see anything, scream in the chat. Or if you want me to slow down, just say so. What we're looking for in most of these is heavy doubling in the words trust. And on the on the 71D, usually over here in the I and the N of in. Let me zoom in on that a little bit more. That's actually a little bit better for me. The 74, we're looking for a notch in the 4 and doubling in the word trust. The 77, usually it's more in we and in God. Nothing there. I've never found a 77D. I know others have. The 3 also has a telltale sign. If I can get my finger there, right there in the edge of the notch, if you have one. And we got nothing. Sometimes it can be hard to be motivated to do things even when we end up, yeah, that's very, very true. Very true. Like, I mean, I love going to my daughter's volleyball stuff, but when you've had 5 tournaments in 8 weeks and you've spent 3 and 4 days in a row in a gymnasium, it's like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to watch any more. That's just an ugly 71D. Probably not worth scoping, so I skipped it. For those of you that saw it. 72D with a FG. A lot of people also ask why I very purposefully drop the coins, as I want to hear them hit the rest of the coins, because there are silver planchet errors that will ring out differently, and magic coins will thud differently. And if it's a funky planchet, it will sound different. So I tend to try to make a lot of noise with the coins because I want to hear them. There are people that coin roll hunt simply by doing that, because you can hear the silver ring out in the middle. just by dropping the coins the way I just did, then you know it's worth looking at the individual coins. And that's only if you're purely silver hunting. Are you still hitting fifth thirds, or are you going to some new banks? So I'm going to still lots of different banks, but I have 2 fifth thirds that order for me. And I have a Wells Fargo that has boxes all the time. I don't have to order from them. They don't get halves for me, but they always have boxes of nickels, dimes, and pennies. And then I go to a lot of random banks just hunting for customer wrap stuff. So I do go into Truists all the time. I go into Chase banks all the time. It's been a long while since I've done this, but you know, if I have a Friday off or something, I'll get in the car and just pick a direction and drive and stop at every bank I see for, you know, an hour or something like that. And I'll stop at random credit unions, little mom and shop bank, you know, mom and pop banks, and I will take whatever they'll give me. It's been a while since I've done that, but it is something that I have done from time to time, and it's usually, rarely is it not semi-fruitful. Last time I did it, I think I only came away with like 1 silver half, and it was right out of the teller's tray. But one time I did it, I stopped at a Regions Bank that I normally don't stop at and talked them into giving me the 5 rolls they had in the vault, and came up with, like, out of the 5 rolls they gave me, it was like a roll and a half or 2 rolls of silver with commemoratives in it and all kinds of craziness. So you never know what you're going to get. So Julianne says, my husband always asks why I can get through a roll so quickly. We know what we're looking for, right? That is exactly right. And I think halves are easier. I mean, when you talk pennies, you can't go through, I mean, I guess maybe some people can, but there's so much to look for in pennies that you have to go a lot slower, in my opinion. Nickels you can go through fast. Dimes you can go through, depending on what you're hunting in dimes, really fast. But halves, it's, you know, for people that are silver hunting, you can go through a roll in seconds. Do you keep sticker coins? William Pint asks. No, I do not keep stickered coins. I did keep, or I've got a little stack over here. I did hang on to that one that said silver and in Rob we trust, that I got in a hunt a while back, because I'm pretty sure that was an ode to Rob Finds Treasure. So I did hang on to that, but no, typically I do not hang on to stickered coins. Julianne says, so they'll help you even though you're not a customer. I feel like banks here want you to have an account. I'll get to that. In my area, most of the banks I've gone to require you to be a member. Same thing. Won't let you do anything. So, in the state of Georgia, as a general rule of thumb is if you're not a member for the big banks, they will do transactions up to $100 without giving you too much trouble. Typically. So if I walk into a Truist and ask for $100 in nickels or $100 in dimes, or, you know, if they happen to have a few rolls of halves or what have you, I have never had one say no. Now, credit unions, I don't think I've ever had a credit union say yes if I wasn't a member. I've told this story on numerous live streams, but I don't remember where it was, Florida, somewhere. And I went into a credit union and they had an Eisenhower dollar in the teller tray, and I pulled a dollar bill out and said, can I have that Eisenhower dollar? And the lady asked me for my member ID. And I said, I don't have one because I'm not a member. And she said, then I can't sell you this Eisenhower dollar. And I'm like, it's a dollar. And she said, bank policy, can't do any transactions for non-customers. So literally would not take a dollar cash for an Eisenhower dollar sitting in her tray. So it happens to me too. Georgia's own credit union or whatever it's called, they won't work with me either. I do test the waters every couple of months. I'll go in and ask, and I'm always told no, but I try. So if you guys are seeing, you know, the whole member business, that's everywhere. But I would say if they're bigger banks, it's worth asking if they have a minimum they'll do. And for me, again, if you watch my channel, you know I do a fair number of customer wrapped videos too. And so for me, 2001 Philly, we missed NIFC by a year. So if I'm trying to fill out, you know, to get to $500 or $600 or whatever, it's worth me going into a bank and just picking up $20 or $30 or $50 worth of something if that's what I need to get the number of nickels or dimes or what have you that I'm looking for. So I don't mind going in and doing that. I don't step into a bank without having an account with them. So Create Craft, I would say, you know, give it a shot sometime, because I'm of the opinion that the worst thing that they can say is no, right? And then you can go, oh, well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And leave. No harm, no foul. As long as you're polite and they're polite, I don't see any issue with it. All right, so we are through 15 rolls. Let's go ahead and scope some of these guys and see if we've got anything interesting in here. Collector Invest, I am doing well. Welcome to the stream. We are coin roll hunting a box of $50 for Pops Gone Wild. So far, we've only got one proof to show for our work. And it's a little bit of a beat up 1981 San Francisco. Now, some people will also check this Y and this T for a DDO. I forget what FS is. There's like a 101 and a 102 and like a 104. And I've kind of stopped looking for just the T and the Y. I don't think it's worth as much. But I always look for the trust and the notch and the 4 on my 1974s. So Julianne, I've got, I mean, I'll tell you a story about that real quick. Kind of what you're talking about there. You have an account at 4 banks, but they all get their coins from the same place. Yeah, that's less useful. Usually, so for me, my main banking is at Wells Fargo and at Fifth Third. I have a Navy Federal account as well, but I just don't go there as often because they're so busy all the time because there's only like 2 of them in my area. But one mainly does Loomis and one mainly does Brinks. So what is really nice is if I want to get rolls from the 2 different armored car companies, I can do that all in the same week. And occasionally Fifth Third does get Loomis and occasionally Wells Fargo does get Brinks, but it's rare. So the story I was going to say for Julianne's comment is, so Wells Fargo, the 2 or 3 that are very close to my house, they've always been very good to me. You know, I've always been very good to them. I don't really ask either one of them to order for me. One of them I used to, but they did inform me probably over a year ago that they could no longer order for regular customers. I was going to have to get a business account, but they would happily give me any coin they had on site. So if the coin was already ordered and they had excess, they would sell it to me, and then as much customer wrapped as I wanted. They would never really say no to customer wrapped. But I can drive like 5 miles up the road to another Wells Fargo, and at that one they will only give me 2 rolls of each denomination. They will not order. It doesn't matter whether it's bank wrapped or customer wrapped. It is 2 per customer. So I just tell people that if you're in a big enough area and you have multiple branches you can try, sometimes it's worth just going to another branch, because different people, different bank managers, even though they're governed by the same policy, not all of them follow the policy the same way. So Pete says, I find silver 1 in 9 boxes. So Pete, it ebbs and flows, man. And again, for those of you that have been with me for a long time, I've heard this story. At this point now, it's probably 2 years ago, I went on a 28 box skunk, silver skunk. I mean, obviously we found NIFCs and such. I found like 1 or 2 silvers in a box and then went on another 28 box skunk right after it. So yeah, that's not fun. And you take the good with the bad. So Collect Invest, he found a candy that gives you a coin with a dino painted on them. Well, I kind of want to hear more about that. I don't know what that is. I went to every bank within 2 counties and they took my name and number. That's really nice, Tim. And remind us where you are. Are you down in Florida? I forget where you are. So Southern Coin Hunter, no luck. Well, we've got 1 proof, no silver yet. Yeah, 20 at a time. That stinks, numismatic history. I would definitely try to branch out a little bit. Mr. Texan, and that's another one of those. I test the waters about every 6 months. I go into Publix and ask if I can buy bags out of the coin machine. And thus far, I've always been told no. Sorry, those guys were 72 Ds. They had FGs. That one's going to be a little faint, I think. No, you can see that really well. But yeah, I try. I do. It's something I try. And I do hit. I've got a bunch of Walmarts and Walmart marketplaces around me. And probably once a week, I swing in and just kind of eyeball the Coinstars, because the Coinstars won't eat silver. They will spit them out. And it's been a long time since I found silver in a Coinstar. Honestly, for the first time in probably 10 weeks, I actually found coins in a Coinstar. We got a 2020 Philadelphia. So our first legit NIFC on the hunt. I'll put that up here with our proof. And while I'm stopping here for a second, let's go ahead and 1 NIFC, 1 proof. So that board should have been updated. But I always do check. I mean, I see some people, oh, we got a 2013 right behind it. Sorry, I got a window management here on the computer. So 2 NIFCs, 2013 Denver. Very cool. There's a 2021 Philly. A really jacked up old coin, 2021. Update our ticker. So Southern Coin Roll Hunter got 2 rolls. It had 5 40s. Hey Dervish Colorad, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate it. Yeah, so Tim, that's going around as the full boxes of 2023s. I think Brinks and companies like that, they're getting big deliveries of them, and they just want to get rid of them. And honestly, I am still hearing here in Georgia that while not a coin shortage, banks are not always getting the coins that they've ordered. And sometimes Brinks, if somebody's ordered, say, 4 boxes of quarters, they will bring them 2 boxes of halves instead. Or, 4 boxes of halves or whatever to make up for the quarter shortages. And then banks get those boxes and go, what in the world are we going to do with these things? So this looks like a coin that's been like in a tumbler or something. It's been sandblasted to me. I don't think that is a mint error just due to the pock marking on it. But if you guys know what that is, let me know. I'll just put it up here for now. We've got a 2022 Philly. First one of those. So Dervish, I said Dervish, Colorado. Dervish, Colorado. I get it now. I've put it together. Well, let us know how your hunt goes. I will tell you that don't get too overexcited about it, because if it shows up and it's all brand new coins, that'll be disappointing. and it is not uncommon for you to get skunked in a box. So keep expectations low and be really happy if you get, you know, a bunch of good finds in your first box. I know when I first got into coin roll hunting, it was boxes and boxes and boxes before I finally found silver. So Pops, you still with us? And if any of you guys have new channels, I think if you exclamation mark me, M-E, it will put a link to your channel in the chat, if I recall. I think I set that up. So just don't spam the chat with it, and you are welcome to advertise your own channel. I have no issues with that as long as you do it responsibly. It's actually really nice too. I sold one of my NIFC books, so I'm trying to put together another set. So, I don't know if you saw, but we got you a couple of NIFCs, and I've got a bunch of stuff still here to scope. We're on roll number 23, and it is slow going. So, Southern Coin Hunter, is that all silvers or number of boxes that you've gotten? Lots of 2023 Denvers, which is really weird for me. A lot of 2021 Phillies. Roll number 24. That's silver. Okay. Well, you weren't here when we started. I showed off my silver chest for the year. It was looking pretty good. I actually took it all out and added it up, but I don't want to share how much was in there because I will probably do a little giveaway at the end of the year for whoever can get closest to how much silver is actually in there. Which means you can either look at the chest and make a good educated guess, or you can make sure you watch all my videos. Got another NIFC, 2005 Denver. Not in the best of shape, but it is another NIFC. All right, and one more roll. We're going to scope this big stack of coins that I've been making over here. What do you think will happen price-wise or availability for the NIFC coins? Should we hold them back, or did the mint oversaturate the market? So, you know, I've found, just in my experience, and by all means, if you guys have different experiences in the chat, feel free to share them. But trying to sell them individually, if you're thinking like, hey, I'm going to make a bunch of money with them, doesn't seem to go very well. I have found by making full runs from like 2002 to 2020, you know, filling out books and selling those, you can make it a pretty decent premium. Excuse me. On those. But yeah, trying to sell them by the roll, unless they're like their BU, you know, never been opened, etc., etc., you might be able to sell that to a collector for a decent premium, but that's just not been my experience. So I make a few bucks when I sell full sets, full runs. Yeah, no, I think, you know, like you just said there, Timothy, I think, you know, selling entire runs you can do. That's pretty easy because that's an instant collection. You know, if you've got a child or it's just a new hobby for you, it's a nice, easy way just to get them all. But I think if you were to go out there and like just, you know, I got 7 random NIFCs and I want $3 a piece for them. I mean, you got to find the exact right buyer, or I think that's just going to sit. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember what I was looking at there. I just checked them both. You will also notice that I put my thumb over it because I like to put a shadow on the coins because it also helps that double die stand out a little bit. And the reflection of the light, so the shadow helps. Thanks, Mr. Texan. Appreciate you stopping in and chatting with us, hanging out. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I think that, well, not even I think, I know that I have filled out like 7 in the last 2 or 3 years, easily 7 full runs, not always in BU condition, but decent condition. 7 full runs of NIFCs. I started my penny album 2 years ago, and I'm still missing a ton of holes. Yeah, and God looked funny because it was a 74. It is funny how you do this long enough, you can almost just from looking at the lettering know, you know, maybe not know exactly what year it is, but you can look at it and know that's not a 74, that's not a 71, or just judging from the thickness of the lettering or the way it sits on the coin, or it's kind of weird. Like the 82s and 83s, all the lettering is really fat. Almost looks like a double die, but it's not. That's just the way the coins were struck. So let's see here. So you sold 74 rolls. I would love to hear about that, because I remember when I first got into coin roll hunting, I worked up to like $500 or $600 or $700 in NIFCs, and I ended up just taking them all back to the bank. So, Julianne, most people just end up offloading stuff on eBay because it's the largest audience to find out there, but you do have to account for the 15% in fees. So, Southern Coin Hunter, were they copper plated, or was the clad layer just missing? I'd be curious, because if the clad layer was missing, that could be some kind of error. But I mean, if they're like super shiny, like, and you can tell they were copper plated, then yeah, probably not worth a whole lot, but still pretty cool. All right, we are into roll number 26, second half of this box. And so far, it has not been real pretty. All right, so it is copper plated for sure. Okay. $21, $23, $23, $21. Ugly coin. Okay, weight is correct. All right. And a lot of these rolls, we got about maybe a quarter of the rolls are new coins. Now, I know he's posting a lot less, but Enigma Coin Collector, I want to say it was last year, he ended up having a box that had like 20 silvers in it, and it was littered in between a box full of 21s and 22s, which was just goes to show you, I mean, you never know what's going to be in the box, but I would say half of the box was brand new 21s and 22 coins, and somehow in the middle of all that was a bunch of silver. He did that on a live stream too, so. So, Julianne, don't ever worry about being quiet. Feel free to ask lots of questions. That's why we're all here. So, I will never tell you to be quiet unless you're just spamming the chat with nonsense, but your questions are always welcome. Thought that was an 87 for a second. What was everyone's supper was? Collector, are you asking what people had for dinner? I had burritos. It was delicious. We had, what were they? Crock pot, chuck roast, burrito. They were wonderful. They would have been more wonderful had I not had Mexican at lunch at work today. but it was still delicious. So Pete, you mostly hunt quarters. Quarters are not a bad thing to hunt. I don't find a whole lot of silver in quarters, but there's just so much to look for that if you were to pick just one denomination that always gave you a lot to look for, quarters is not a bad gig. I have hunted a lot of quarters in my day. I think pennies are fun too. It's just there's so much to look for and they're so small that I'm exhausted after a box of pennies. All right, we're getting into roll number 31. For those of you that are curious, how many boxes do I search in a week? Not as many as you would think. So when I'm in my groove, meaning like kids' activities are minimal, work's not kicking my butt, and we don't have a lot of like just family activities and things that I have to, I say have to, I don't mean it that way, but that are on the schedule. I typically do 2 boxes of halves in a week, and then 1 or 2 boxes of something else, usually quarters or nickels. And if it's not a box of quarters or nickels, I tend to do some sort of larger customer wrapped hunt where it's a mixture of things where, and again, they're actually some of my higher viewed videos where I'll go get $600 or $800 in just mixed coin, and you know, we'll do some dollar coins and $half-dollar coins and quarters and nickels and dimes, and you know, you're switching gears throughout the whole video. So when I can't get an extra box of something, that's usually where I land, is getting a bunch of customer wrap stuff. So, but that's it. I mean, some of the channels you guys watch, they get, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 worth of coins every week. That is not me. I just don't have that much time. So, finally finished the states that Dad and I started in '99. Now I'm back. Dad is gone, but going to continue the... Julianne, you should. And quarters, like I said, are a lot of fun. And honestly, if you do get boxes, you can complete a 1965 to 20... probably at least 2022 pretty quick. I want to say when I did I've actually filled out 2 full series of that. And my first series, I was done in like, I want to say like 6 boxes or 8 boxes. Other than some of the newer women's quarters, obviously, that were coming out at the time. My second series, I want to say I got stuck on some of the 20, sorry, not the 20, what were they? Some of the 2010s, 2011s, and 2012s, because they are a little bit lower mintage. And I had, I think, 3 or 4 states that just, I could not get them to save my life. It didn't seem, no matter how many boxes I went through, they weren't coming in. Like it was either California or Colorado or one of those, just couldn't find it from 2010 or 2011. All right, roll number 35. So Southern Coin Hunter, I tell people, for me typically, and again, I don't hunt for everything, but I hunt for a lot. And I do a fairly thorough job. I definitely go a lot slower with pennies than you see me going through halves. And it takes me 5 to 6 hours to get through a box of pennies. And that's a very long time. And sometimes, you know, you get to the end of it and it's like, hey, I found 3 wheat pennies and 2 pounds of copper. You know, that's all you found. So that can be tough, especially if you're trying to make videos for YouTube, because it's an awful large time investment. And at the end of the day, there's nothing all that cool to talk about other than your 2 or 3 wheat pennies and, hey, look how much copper I found. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it other than put it in a bucket for right now. So Not saying it's not fun, it's just sometimes they're not as enjoyable viewing for the YouTube audience when that's all you have. All right, we've got 10, 14 rolls left. Pops, this is not turning out how I wanted it to for you, but we've got some NIFCs. If we do happen to get silver skunked, the one question you'll have to answer is, do you want a Walker, a Benji, or a 1964 90%er if you get skunked? And we'll pull something out of the collection and make sure that ends up in your package. Because I'll send all this stuff out to you with that silver. Pete, I would say, you know, I think quarters are a lot of fun because there's a lot to look for, but one of my favorites lately to hunt is nickels. Again, simply because you feel like you got a lot of finds, even though they're not terribly valuable. Because if you're pulling 59 and earlier, there are a handful of errors, varieties to look for, which I don't find many. I mean, I want to say the last time I found a nickel variety was forever ago. Now, I did find that two-headed nickel. That was pretty cool. It wasn't a mint error. It was a machined coin. It was a faked coin, but that was pretty neat. But yeah, I think nickels are a ton of fun. Quirky quick quip. If a bank only had a few $50 rolls, when should I go back to get some more and hopefully a box without ordering them? Well, to get a box, you're going to have to order the box, more than likely. Hopefully you're not returning $50 to the same bank you're getting them at. And I would say you don't want to be a pest to the bank at the same time. You don't want to wait too long because there's lots of coin roll hunters today. So I try to stop back into banks once every week or two. At least the banks that are kind of in my rotation. A lot of those banks also do tend to hold stuff for me if it's interesting looking. But I wouldn't wait too long. So Pete, you should hang on to all the silver you find for sure. And with silver on the tear right now, every little bit of silver you find is worth a lot more now than it was a year ago. So that is a wonderful thing. All right, Pops, we've got this set to look for varieties, and then we've got 10 more rolls, and then we'll be done with your box. Get over here to the scope. How many likes do we have? 36 likes. All right, so we will, for those of you in the chat, we'll do a tiny little giveaway after box number 1. So I gotta give some thought to what we might want to give away. But stick around. We've maybe got 15 more minutes until we get there, and we'll do a tiny little giveaway. So this is all fat like it wants to be a DDO, but it is not. Send the bank a pizza, it goes a long way. Yeah, I mean, coffee and donuts does well. Chick-fil-A in the morning does well. Those are all nice things to do that the bank really appreciates. I know for Valentine's Day, I took all my tellers who were, 98% women, little Valentines and chocolates. They enjoyed that. I would love to find a DDO or a DDR here. That'd be really nice. right, 2 left here to scope. 2 more 77s. Got a funny little R. But nothing there. That one is ugly. All right. Hey, Coin Flip, what's up, man? Yeah, we're on a pretty good delay here, I think. That's all right, though. All right, getting into roll number 41. Lots of new coins in here. Looks like about 7 of the 20. 23, 23, 23, 23, 71, ugly 71. How do I tag? Excuse me, let me get something to drink. If you do exclamation point me. So, let me do it in the chat here. Yeah, Chick-fil-A platters work really well. I think I've got that set up. Let's see if that works. Yeah, there you go. See what happens when you do a exclamation point me? Please check out my channel, and it will do a link for your channel. Well, I'm glad we found that proof. Otherwise, this has been a relatively inconspicuous box. I mean, that probably came out of a mint set, but it's got a scratch all over it. All right, roll number 43, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, Showtime, how are you? Yeah, make sure you guys check out Coin Flip, check out Numismatic History. I know he's relatively new to the scene. He's been borrowing my checklist. He's been really good. He's been tagging me in all of his videos, so really appreciate that. And Coin Flip, was it you and Southwest Ohio, hunting Southwest Ohio stream? You're just a couple away from your next milestone. I forget what your milestone was. Was it 1,000? Where are you at in North Carolina, Showtime? So I'm trying to read the chat and open rolls at the same time. So 6 rolls left. And Pops, if you answered my question earlier, I probably didn't see it. And we'll cover it again here in a minute about what you want for a 90% if we don't find anything. So, just south of Chapel Hill. All right. I went to high school in Raleigh, Durham a long, long time ago. I'll actually be in Raleigh next week. Going up there for work. It's crazy because from Atlanta, it's about 5.5 hours, give or take, to drive it. And between driving to the Atlanta airport, sitting at the airport, getting on an airplane, taking the 50-minute flight, getting back through baggage claim, you probably burn 4 hours flying. Raleigh is just far enough away that it's just barely worth flying. It's a nice 91. So Pop says, Benji, please. All right, we'll pull out a roll of Benjis and see what we have in there. Thanks, Francisco Geos. Thank you so much. My Kennedy videos usually do pretty well. I've had two, I would say, huge to epic hunts this year. Been very fortunate. I've been posting shorts recently, trying to get the views on those up a little bit. That just sounds funny, but I think it's a regular coin. But yeah, I had a video earlier this year where we found a little over 50 silvers in a box. That was a great hunt. That was a lot of fun. If you haven't seen that one, that's worth checking out. I know Rob Finds Treasure does it, and I used to have a cup full of them, but he does ugly albums too. I think he actually, I think, fills out albums with ugly coins, which I think is kind of funny. Oh, there you go. Now this is a cool find. We're on roll 49, so we waited to the end here, Pops. This is pretty cool. So if you're gonna get an NIFC, this is one of the ones you want to get. This is a 1987 Denver. These were only made in mint sets, as far as I know, and proof sets. Obviously, proofs would have San Francisco. But in 87 Denver, they're pretty tough to come by. When it rains and pours, though, some people will get, 2 or 3 or 4 of these in a box, and then you won't see them again for a year. But I'd be real excited about getting this, Pops, if you're, I don't know how much, you collect coins and stuff, but of all the NIFCs, that's outside of the 1970. That would be one I'd be pretty excited about getting. So that is a pretty cool find there, in my opinion. You found a 1987 P today. Oh, $50. Stacking and packing. Welcome to the stream. So between you and me, we just got a Philly and a Denver is what I'm hearing. Very cool. It's like I said, it's funny. I had a box. I don't know how long ago it was. I had a Philly and a Denver in the box, which was really, really nice. You get an instant little set. So we're down to our last roll for Pops. Let's hope this last roll works out. Here's our, oh wait, I lied. There was one hiding. I didn't see it. We got 2 rolls for Pops. There's our empty box, and that's why we show the empty box, to make sure we didn't miss anything. So 2 rolls left. We got a 2023 Ender and some worn stuff up there. And then we've still got some stuff to scope. And I don't think I saw anything in the chat. Again, I don't think it's mint damage, but if you know what would cause that, sandblasting, being in a dryer, I don't know what causes that. It's just really ugly. I pulled it aside to see if you guys knew what it was. I get coins like that from time to time. Well, oh, I don't have it out here. I have a whole tube full of 1987 San Franciscos. I actually find that more than I find the Phillies and the Denvers. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the widescreen format a little bit. I know, like I said, my last couple of hunts, we did the vertical. And while I think the views were up, I don't think people enjoyed it as much. Oh, not yet. We got to wait. Sorry, we got one more. Slot machine from the 90s, very possibly. Acid. Yeah, I prefer the widescreen as well, but the vertical gets advertised in the shorts feed, so you tend to attract some newer subscribers, right? You tend to get new folks in the chat. Now, what I don't think is that I don't know how much that converts to people actually coming and watching your other videos. So it gets you a little bit better exposure, but it's kind of like, is it good exposure? You know what I mean? All right, so here we go. We've got about, I don't know, 15 coins here to scope. We'll do that here real quick. Yeah, I've been chatting with Diggin' Dave because when he discovered that it was a great way to drive a bunch of subs, he literally live streamed every night for about 2.5 or 3 weeks. And he live streamed for hours each night. And he grew by probably 15,000 subs in a week. And part of my conversation with him was, let me know what that does to your regular long form content. Because at the end of the day, and it depends on how you are monetizing your channel, right? I mean, at the end of the day, if most of your revenue comes from ads, then you want people watching all of your long form content more than anything. And if people are just coming in for your lives, then you just, there's not as much revenue there. But I know he sells rolls too, so he makes quite a bit of money from that. Just, different approach to the channels, right? We got 6 coins left. So far, nothing. And that is a 77. We'll check those things. We got a 74. Now, it used to be in Loomis boxes, I would find 74D. Sorry, I thought that was something else. It's a D, so we're checking that FG. I would find 74D DDOs a lot in Loomis boxes. And Brinks, I find them very rarely. I don't know. It shouldn't matter. $half or $half. It's just strange. Okay, so we're back here. Let me check the chat here real quick, and let me go get a tube of Benjis out here. Preferring widescreen, short stream. What do I use for a scope? So I have an OPQPQ 10.5-inch HD scope that I got for free for doing a thorough review of it, which is also on my channel. I've used the little $35 or $40 digital pluggable scope. I used that for 2 years. I still have it. It travels with me. So like if I go to New York or go to Virginia for 2 weeks or something like that at Christmas to visit family, I take that with me so I can actually hunt coins when I'm traveling. But the one I have is a big freestanding microscope, so I can't, it doesn't travel well. So Random Man Guy got 3 walkers, a Benji, 564s, and 1840s. That's awesome, dude. Is Hunting Southwest Ohio here? What's up, man? Sorry, I'm streaming on top of your stream. So Pops, yep, I'm over here running my mouth. I'm going to go find you a Benji. We're going to throw this dryer coin or casino coin back. You did end up with a little crusty 1981 S proof, which is pretty cool. We got a coveted 1987 Denver NIFC, which I would be probably more excited about than anything else in here. We did get an 05 Denver NIFC, and all these kind of early NIFCs they're like 3 million minted, 2.5 million minted, so they are relatively rare. 2013 Denver and a 2020 Philly. So we will be putting all that in a package for you, along with a Benji. You'll get a channel sticker, and I don't know, I might throw something else in there as well. We'll see. But let me see here. Ever luck find any silver dollars? Ever luck up and find? No, I've never found any silver dollars. I know some YouTubers who have gotten extremely lucky and gotten silver dollars. So let's see here. I do have some Benjis here. I did have a tube out. Do you care what year, Pops? This tube seems to have a lot of 62s, 63s. Yeah, this is mainly 62s and 63s. You okay with that? Like, here's a 63 Benji. How would that do? Looks like we've got a 63. I think that is a, let's see, 63 Denver. How's that for you? Works for you. 63 Denver, or do you want a Philly? I'm sure I can find a Philly in here. right, Denver's good for you. Sorry, I had to go in the other room and grab some stuff. So Roy, you ended up getting 50 Morgans and Peace dollars. I'm trying to go back through. Where did you pick those up at a bank? That would be insane if you did that from a bank. So this is Pops Gone Wild. Pops, I should have your email address and your PayPal, but if you wouldn't mind, email me and just send me your address to make sure that I do have it. Because I want to be able to get this out to you. So this is yours. You got the 90, you got all these NIFCs, and you got your 1981 San Francisco proof. And I may package this a little differently, but I just like doing this so I keep everything together. So that is your stuff. We'll get that out, and it will probably come in a little box just so we can secure it better than a little padded envelope so it's not jingling around in there. And we are going to do a quick giveaway. I know we're only at 46 likes, and I said we'd do something between boxes and dumps. If you're here, I think you said you wanted to get the next box, and I don't remember if you paid for it. So I'm logging into PayPal here real quick just to see. It looks like maybe you did. No, you didn't. Unless you sent it to Cashapp or something like that. But so... Dumps, if you are still in the live stream, you paid Cashapp. Okay. Very good. I'm going to, let's see here. I think I get an email when you cash at me because I'm using my phone. Yep, I got it. All right. Thanks, Dumps. I got it. You're up next. But for our, wow, the live stream is way, way behind. Oh, no, my thing is just a little behind. Okay, never mind. What we're going to do for a little midstream giveaway here, just because we were talking about it. How about we do a 1987 San Francisco proof? Now, I've found this coin roll hunting, so it is going to be circulated, but it still looks pretty darn good for a little giveaway. So, that's what we're shooting for right there. We are going to go over to Nightbot. Let me put mods in. So you guys need to just put anything in the chat. I'm not going to do a keyword. All you have to do is put something in the chat. We're going to use Nightbot to pick a winner. So I'll give you the next minute or so. Just type anything. Good luck. Want to win. I like turtles. Whatever you want to put in there. And let me share that screen so you guys can follow along with me. Yeah, there you go. So you guys will see your names are popping in over here. We've got mods are eligible, channel members, everybody's got the same amount of luck. So if you've chatted anything in the last 5 minutes, your name should be in this list. We've got 19 eligible. We got 43 watching, give or take. So if you're watching and you're not subscribed, you can't chat, obviously. So if you want to be in the drawing, you might want to hurry up and subscribe and get in here and chat something. I'll give you just a minute. But good luck to everyone. Except Hunting Southwest Ohio, because he just refuses to let me win a GAW. I'm teasing, Rick. You can win. I'll feel disappointed, though, because I literally just put your thing in the mail. Hey, Paul Bald 2. Thanks for subscribing. Watch, he's going to chat here in a second. He's going to win. It'll be the funniest thing. So we're up to 25. So keep it up. I'll give you guys just another minute, and we will let Nightbot. So what's going to happen is I'm going to say 3, 2, 1. I'm going to click a button on my side, this little roll it button. The AI bot known as Nightbot is going to pick somebody from the chat to be the winner. So if you've never done a live stream, I have nothing to do with it. It's literally random. And everybody has the same amount of luck. So even channel members don't have any advantage here. So good luck to everybody. So we got 27. Keep it coming. Well, James, you got here just in time. You are in, James. Let's see here. Where are you? Look at you. You're right here, James. And Paul, who just subscribed, he should be in here. Here's Paul. He just subscribed, so he's in. We got 30 of 48. I guess while I'm running my mouth here, I could maybe pick up the Benjis that I laid all over my table here. Pops, thank you so much for donating. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. We use that money most of the time to upgrade equipment, buy supplies. Sometimes it's to backfill money for continuing to get coins because I've spent it on other stuff, tubes, or it's ended up going in my collection. You know, when you find 50 half dollars and keep them, that's $25 you got to replace. So James, we had a pretty good first box. No silver. We had a proof. We had 4 or 5 NIFCs, and we had the 1987 Denver, which is one of the harder NIFCs to find. So it was a good box for Pops Gone Wild. All right, so I've talked long enough. We got 31 people in, so I'm going to go ahead. We're going to roll this thing, and let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Showtime has won. So Showtime, obviously you've been here in the last 5 minutes. Just let us know you're still here. And I need you to email me your YouTube name, your mailing address, and just remind me that you won the 1987 proof on the stream, and I will get that out in the mail. Now, I do put this in a regular envelope, usually inside of one of these. The envelope is taped on all 4 sides, so it's not going to get spit out by the bank, and it makes it really, really hard for people to try to steal this stuff. So far, knock on wood, there's wood around here somewhere, up here. So far, everything that I've put in the mail, except a package that I sent to Canada, has been delivered that way. And, of course, if you donate, your stuff does come tracked. So we want to make sure, since you've donated, that your stuff 100% arrives. But for giveaways, you know, we're not going to spend $4 to ship a 50-cent piece. But Showtime, I have no worries that this will get to you. All right, so we're going to move on to box number 2. I did see Dumps in there, so he's here. Good luck to him. So, Dumps, I'm going to ask you... anything in particular you're looking for? Are you jazzed? I mean, obviously we're always looking for silver. Are you jazzed about proofs, NIFCs, anything specific you're hoping to find? Love to know, just so that if we do happen to find it, we'll make a really big deal. Always silver. All right. So, well, that's kind of cool. A little bit of rainbow tone 77. That's kind of neat. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into these things. We got a 23 Philly here, Ender. So we do have one there. Another 23 Philly here and a 23 Philly there. So we definitely still have some new stuff in this one. Proofs, double die. So you're into all of it. All right, very well. So let's get started. What time is it? It is 10:29. So we are going to just move as quickly as we can. Those of you that are new to the stream, I am not going to scope everything as I find it. We're going to make a separate stack. And about every 10 or 15 rolls, we'll take a little break to scope for varieties. And by the way, I got to update my ticker. I think we had, I'm going to say 5 NIFCs. It might have been 4. But it is what it is. Khalid 4 or IV says he won it all. He wants it all. All right, let's see here. So anything we're putting up here is stuff we will scope at some point. Super shiny stuff, if you see me just put it aside, it's 21s, 22s, and 23s, which we don't care about. And Dumps, I will extend you the same offer we did to Pops. If you need the 21 Philly Denver, or 22 or 23 Philly or Denver, let me know. I will pull one aside for you as a donator, but they are not NIFCs. And if you are also hunting on your own, you probably get them all the time. So you may not want or need them. All right, cool. Thanks, Dumps. And as for varieties and stuff, if the coins are really jacked, I may not put them under the scope. Because at the end of the day, if it's so beat up that even if it's a variety, it's not going to be like this. I mean, I'll scope it. That'll probably come off with some acetone, but typically when I'm hunting for myself, I don't even put that under the scope. Because I don't want to take the time to clean it off. Well, I'm glad I could help, James. I was surprised I was streaming tonight, too. That's not true. I've actually been meaning to stream since the weekend. And I didn't want to step on Rick's stream Sunday night. And then Monday, we had too much going on. And tonight, I was like, you know, I got to get through these $50. I'm just going to do it tonight. And I'm glad I did, because you guys are here hanging out with me. And I enjoy doing this with a crowd. Love having the community. So, yep. And I don't know about you guys, but especially for the new coin roll hunters, just the sound of these coins hitting the table, there's just something very relaxing about it. I mean, I even listen to coin roll hunts while I'm driving in the car sometimes, which I know sounds really, really weird and probably geeky, and I would have never gotten married had I said that out loud in my 20s. But it's very relaxing, you know? It's a 22, a 23. So this is roll number 5, and I'm going to take a beat to. I'm going to show off 2 things real quick. For those of you that are still with us, which I really appreciate. 2001. Looking for those FGs for you. Now the 72 Philly supposedly has a DDO. I have looked at thousands of them and never found one. Literally thousands of them. So I've kind of stopped looking at them. So this is roll number 6. For those of you that like a roll count, I almost wish I had a little button I could push over here on the side of the mat that would increment my roll number for me. But so let's see here. You asked, nice to get home. Good way to have chili. I do often, plink plink. So Roy, CRH is coin roll hunting. Yep. Yeah, I'd let YouTube channel, like Coin Flip during Rick's stream. I was driving to pick my daughter up from School of Rock, and I had Rick's stream going in the background. I listen to his a lot while I'm on the road. James, I did not see the Northern Lights. Where I was in Georgia, I couldn't see them. So the 72 DDO, yeah, I thought you were going to say the no FG. Yeah, the 72 DDO I've never found. So real quick, 2 things I want to show off. One, I had a viewer. Well, let me back up. Let me find the original. Hang on. Where'd I put it? It's around here somewhere. So I did a video, I don't know, last week on rewrapping $50, and I showed off my little 3D printed tubes that I use, and I've actually sold a couple of them this week, which is pretty neat. Somebody commented on that video, could I make one of these for quarters? And I did. So over the weekend, I took this design, resized it and everything. Got a little bit of extra crap in this one. So now I've got quarter rolls too that I put these in my store, and they're really just kind of neat. I'll do it for the $50 tube. But you just cram it down in there, just like so. You drop your little $50 in there. And I usually put this on a scale. So once it gets to my 224 grams, 225 grams, I know it's full. That's about right. Excuse me. This is a perfect wrap, and I have just the proper amount of paper on top and on the bottom to do a perfect wrap. And I built the exact same thing for quarters. So that's in my store right now. And I bought some additional colors of 3D printed material so I can do them in orange and blue and yellow and gray and red and white and black. And so the couple that I've sold of the quarters, people wanted them in orange because the quarter wraps are in orange. So there was that, if anybody was curious. And then I'm going to do a separate video on this. I showed these off previously. These are a product from CoinView. And I've got something caught in my throat. Sorry. These are to help you scope coins, and I'm going to do a video on it. He's running a coupon for me when I do my full video, so any of my viewers can get 10% off of these. But you use these to put your coins underneath your scope, and they have a, it's a perfect fit for all currency, U.S. currency. So, if you've got really high dollar stuff and you don't want to be scraping it on your scope, everything fits in there perfectly. And if you need to get your coins at specific angles, he's got a 30-degree angle, a 60-degree angle, and even for those dollar coins, if you want to be able to see like edge lettering and stuff. These things I thought were pretty cool, and he's got them for bullion, so American Silver Eagles fit in here, Morgan dollars fit in here. They're a pretty cool little idea, and he's patented this. And I'll do another video for these. But if these are interesting, let me know. I can get you probably the link and the coupon code. Shoot me an email, and I'll do that. But I'm going to do a separate video on these probably this weekend. But I'd be curious from you guys, is that interesting? Would that be something you'd want to see in a video? Because I'm sure if you think it's interesting, others will as well. So let's see here. So they're friends in these same mountains. All right, so you guys are still talking about the Northern Light, which is great. I just didn't see them. Numismatic history. I don't get tons of traffic. I mean, this week I think I had 4 orders, but that's the most. I mean, typically I get like an order a month, right? Maybe sometimes even less than that. I really just put it out there to avoid eBay at the end of the day, because if I can sell stuff to the community for what I would hope to sell it for on eBay, I get away from 15% in fees and only have to pay 2 or 3% in fees. And then, I also have videos out there where I've talked about stuff, and, you can come find all my gear that I use on YouTube. It's got my affiliate links in there. So, my website's not great. It's functional. It does what I need it to do. I used WordPress. I literally built it like in a weekend, and I say in a weekend, like in a couple hours on a weekend. And there's a ton of stuff that I've been talking about putting in it that I just haven't put in it. You'll even see in some of my videos, I'm like, well, if you've seen anything on my channel you'd like me to put in there, I'll throw it in there. And it's a couple of times people have said, hey, if you put that, whatever, 72 DDO in your store, I'll buy it. Or if you put in some W quarters or whatever, I'll buy it. And then I've taken the time to put it in my store, and then they've never bought it. So it is what it is. I'm not in a hurry to sell anything, so it doesn't matter. Hey, Numismatic, doing well. Hope you're doing well. And numismatic history, hopefully that answers your question. And Dumps, we are back to your rolls. Not seeing anything too exciting. I'm going to get through 7 more rolls, and then we'll scope whatever we've got up here against the box. Look, that was like 5 bicentennials in a row. Crazy. And I did, if you see my link from Nightbot, I just finally renewed my sponsorship with APMEX. Now is kind of a tough time to be buying silver, with premium still being high and silver going through the roof. There's 2 minds of that. It's going to keep going up, so buy it while you can before it gets so expensive you can't afford it. And then there's the thinking of, well, it's high right now, give it a month, right? Because silver's kind of been on a roller coaster the last several years. And so I have quite a bit of silver, and so I'm a little bit in a holding pattern myself. I'm not saying that other people who are saying buy it now while you can are wrong. I've just decided to be a little bit in a holding pattern and focus on finding it for cheap through local sales or through my coin roll hunts. Yep. Hey, Numismatic. Thanks for stopping in. Really appreciate it. Really do. Thank you so much. We still got 36 in there. 36 in the video, in the chat. So, how many of you guys are East Coast? Anybody kind of central or west? Because it is going to start getting late here. And I need to stop running my mouth and get this done. So there was that. I think this is artificially toned, I'll be honest. Kind of neat looking though. James is CST. Yeah, I'm obviously East Coast being in Georgia. I don't know if I could live on the West Coast. Knowing that when I got out of bed at 8 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning that half the day had already gone by on the East Coast. Alabama, coin flip. Nope, Kevin's in Bama. Massachusetts. So I'm going to just keep this aside, Dumps. I don't think you're going to probably want it, but the back is a little bit jacked, and it does look artificially toned, but it is pretty. Florida. Gabriel, you should be doing great on your coin roll hunts, man. Everybody I know that hunts Florida just seems to do really, really well. Or maybe it's just certain areas in Florida, but what, Tampa, was it Tampa Coin Guy? He always seems to do really well. I just see lots of big scores coming out of Florida. Roll number 13. Southwest Kentucky. Old Bell, you're in Hawaii? What time is it in Hawaii? They're 6 hours behind, so it's, what, like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the afternoon? 5 o'clock in the afternoon? Which island are you on in Hawaii, Old Bell? I think it was Old Bell. It's 4:43. I was close-ish. Close-ish. Oahu. All right. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been to Oahu. We, in 2022, like tail end of COVID, we took the kids to Maui for 6 days. That was a good time. But Hawaii was super locked down. People in the United States thought things were locked, you know, in the continental United States thought we were too locked down. They should have gone to Hawaii for 15 minutes. Hawaii was locked down. You landed in the airport. If you didn't have your vaccine card, if you didn't have all your paperwork in order, they escorted you from the plane to a little bitty room, and that's where you stood until you had a negative test and all your paperwork in order. I remember we went out to eat. You would have to, like, you could send one person in who had to be in a mask. You had to have everyone's vaccine cards. They would take your name, and then you would have to go stand outside. And then they would bring you in, and this was all in Maui. I can't say Oahu was the same, but in Maui. And then they would bring you in, and every booth had plexiglass all the way around the entire booth. And they separated people by like 3 or 4 booths. It was crazy how locked down Maui was. But if you ate outside, they just kind of separated you by one table, and that was enough. But if you were indoors, man, it was crazy. So, Dumps, who did you talk to that has, oh, Tampa Coin Guy. Yeah, one of his videos popped up in my feed the other day. It could have been an old one. So, Old Bell, people were arrested on the beach during COVID in Hawaii. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I know, like, one of the big things in Maui was the road to Hana. That was just sort of, it's like a, whatever, 6-hour car ride to get out there, and they told us when we got there, do not go because the locals won't let you in. You'll spend all day getting there and all the shops are closed and no one's going to talk to you. Because, I mean, that's, you know, out there in Hana's like where the Hawaiians are, and, you know, that's all the true locals, right? These are not transplants. And they were like, they don't want you there. Stay out. So we didn't do it. We had planned on it before we left, but that didn't work out. So just checking all these for DDOs right now for you, dumps. And if you see anything or anybody else that I don't see, just yell and I will go back, but I'm pretty good at seeing this stuff. Yeah, Jimmy Carr, who's a British comedian, had he's got a short that I watched the other day about COVID. And I don't mean to take it down this road for this conversation for very long, but he asked the crowd, did we overreact to COVID? And the whole place goes, yes. And he goes, yeah, most of the survivors seem to think we went a little overboard. He goes, but I have a feeling if you could interview the dead, they would think we probably should have done a little bit more. And I was like, it's an awful joke, but also pretty funny. That if you were untouched by it, it was a massive overreaction. But if you or someone you know died, you probably think we didn't do enough. So, but anyway, that's depressing. We don't need to talk about that anymore. So Old Bell, if you have a channel, that underscore or exclamation point me will put your channel name in there. If you do not have a channel, then it won't do anything. Just so you know. Uh-oh. Lost my Nightbot. Hang on. He's over there. There we go. Old Bella was working for everybody else. Let me see here. Obviously, it should work for me. Nightbot is, I think, still logged in. Yeah, try it again. Old Bell. I really wish we'd hurry up and find some silver or something for Dumps. That'd be nice. Dumps, you donated for one of my last boxes, didn't you? If I recall, you did get something. I don't recall what. Well, Nightbot, it was working for... That's right, you got a bunch of proofs. That's right. Well, the exclamation point me was working for, like, I want to say Coin Flip. A couple of folks did it earlier tonight, and it worked for them. So I don't know what's going on. Kevin, I don't normally live stream on a regular day or time. I live stream when I can. I live stream, I hate to say this, but when it's convenient. And I do sometimes just get sort of tired of filming all by myself in my basement, so it's nice to hang out with everybody. But I'm not like, you know, I'll just pick on Rick. You know, Rick's got a set schedule, like 2 or 3 nights a week he streams. I just don't have that much... I don't have that much regularity in my schedule. Well, guys, I'll have to look into that exclamation point me. It was working earlier today. It obviously just worked for me a second ago. So something may be going on with the command. I think, yeah, Old Bell, you ran it off. Let me look real quick, Commands, custom. It should work for everyone. It does have a cooldown of 300 seconds. I'm going to reduce that to like I'm going to reduce it to like 22. So you guys don't monkey with that. No one do the exclamation point me. Let's give it like a minute. And then we'll just have one of you try it again. See what it does. What's up, Jesse? How are you, buddy? Yeah, you definitely have to have a YouTube channel. If you don't have an actual channel with content on it, I don't think it's going to work. Like I said, I know a few people used it earlier today and it did work just fine. The hunt is going. It's not going great. Box number 1, we had a proof and a handful of NIFCs. We were silver skunked. So far in this box, we haven't found anything. We're just got through roll number 20. And it's been, you know, lots of good circulated stuff, but nothing worth pulling. No NIFCs, lots of 21s and 23s. Now you can see the FG on that dump. Sorry about that. We're almost in the realm of a no FG, but you can clearly see that G there. We were close. I hope it is coming in the second half. All right. Well, who has a channel? Which one of you guys, who has a legit channel with content on it? If you have a channel that has content on it, like CoinFlip, do an exclamation point me. So CoinFlip, if you could do that, I just want to see if it's working. All right, so there we go. There went CoinFlip. There went James. So Old Bell, if you do it, CoinFlip, it just worked. James, it just worked. So if it's not popping up for you, there's something wrong with your channel. For whatever reason, Nightbot can't determine you have a channel. I don't know if it's because you're not publicly subscribed or something like that. I mean, I'm grasping at straws here, but it obviously works. It is on a 22-second timer, which means like CoinFlip can do it right now, every 22 seconds. And CoinFlip, please don't do it every 22 seconds. So, Dumps, it's funny you say that. I remember when I used to watch, or maybe not even used to watch, it's when Silver Seeker used to do his big mega, like, 10-box hunts on Saturday nights. It just seemed like he would do these boxes and they would find nothing in the first half and all the silver would be in the second half, or vice versa. Like, the first half would have silver in it and the second half would have nothing. And I just remember he used to always say, like, if we could get the guy that loads the top half of the box and the guy that loads the bottom half of the box to work together, this would have been an amazing box, right? He used to say stuff like that all the time. So I think that's a relatively new roll. What do you guys think? There's like 4 legit circulated coins in there. So yeah, Old Bell, I don't know what's going on with your account. I couldn't tell you. All 2023 Ps on this, Dumps. 77 Denver. American Eagle Hoarder, what's up, man? I'm jealous of your 3D printer, man. I've got an Ender. What do I have? An Ender version 3? No, Ender. What do I have? Version 2. And I was trying to print some stuff over the weekend, and I was struggling, and I was watching how your printer works, and I'm like, God, I want a printer like that. But I also then looked up the price and went, yeah, I'm not getting one of those. But it's an amazing little machine you got there. I think you have what, the bamboo or something like that? I forget what it's, the bamboo something. You'll take 5 new rolls. Yeah. I hear you, man. Well, I know like, oh, what was his name? Enigma Coin Collector. You know, if he did a box, now like this, he wouldn't do much, but like if he did a box and every roll was like 2/3 new coins, he would just give you a refund. I mean, like he wouldn't make you pay for that box if it was all brand new coins or mostly brand new coins. So far, we've had a pretty good mix, but if we get a bunch of rolls like that last one, I may give you some of your money back there. Because I'd feel bad. All right, that was 25 rolls. Let's go ahead and get through these guys on the scope, see what we have. What am I looking for? I'm here. I need that, and there was a question. The machine was $1,500 plus $400 for the second AMS unit. Yeah, and I still buy 2 more AMS units for it so I can do all 16 colors. Yeah, I noticed that like to do like the 4 colors at once or whatever was like an extra $400. My 3D printer was like $200, so we're talking about apples and oranges when we compare machines. So nothing there. Jay, do I think bank employees are cherry picking silver for the tills? Only reason I'm asking, when I get a box, they ask me if I found any silver. So that is for me, telltale mark that you should not be going to that bank for customer wraps of silver. Or if they have any non-bankrolled wraps, probably not worth getting them from that bank because they have tellers that know. So I have banks where literally the tellers will, if they have silver come in their tray, they will pull it and hold it for me because they don't care. But I have one bank and one teller who's like, you can talk to the other ladies in here, but you don't need to ask me because if it's an old bill or old coins, I know and I will pull it. So it's not coming to you. But she's like, the rest of these ladies, I don't know what's in their drawer, and you feel free to ask them. Right? So there are tellers that are in the know, and there are tellers that aren't. And you just have to kind of figure that out over time. So I hope I answered that question. We'll see Jill versus try the stinkiest fish challenge. Okay. I don't know what that is, but. So my Ender 3 was $199, and I got it like at Christmas when it was on sale. So maybe it was like $179 or $189. I was looking at some newer units, and to get an upgrade, I'd have to probably spend, a $250 machine today would be an upgrade for me, but not near as nice as kind of what you have and what a lot of people are saying you should get. For me, monkeying around with it, making fun stuff for coin roll hunting or little odds and ends for around the house, I just can't justify the expenditure. But it's really, really cool technology. And I may upgrade mine. Like I tried doing the Eiffel Tower build without supports, which a lot of the higher end machines can do. Mine, it just turns into a glob of material. It's a waste of time. Well, let me know if you do. I'll get in a duck race for one of your Enders, man. That's pretty cool. I was thinking that when I was looking for a new machine as well, like what would I do with the one I have? Like just hang on to it, give it away, put it on Facebook Marketplace, donate it to the school. Like what do you do with it? I mean, I hate mine because, even when I slice stuff, I've got to put it on a micro SD card to get it to print, All right, dumps, we have our first find. It's not a great one. We have a 2017 Denver NIFC with a little bit of gunk. But we found something. Something is better than nothing. Keep it and modify it. Yeah, the Ender has tons of mods for it. So, I mean, I've printed out a couple of things like the, you know, to help with feeding the PLA in and all that kind of stuff. And it only does like 1 or 2 different types of material. And I've pretty much only done PLA and PLA plus with it. The new ones are a lot faster too. So, anybody in the chat do much coin grading? I think the answer is probably going to be no, but I'm curious. What roll am I on? Good question. I am on roll 29, and it has been a very, very slow hunt. And I will do a little end of stream giveaway. We'll find another little something to thank you guys for hanging out throughout the stream, hanging out with us. It'll be a token of my appreciation. It won't be a super expensive item, but we'll find something in there. The reason I'm asking is I have some old pre-33 gold that my coin shop said was cleaned, and I was thinking about sending it in to ANAX because they are doing ANAX. Because they're doing a special right now. They're doing it throughout the rest of the year. You can do 10 coins for $139.99 or something like that. Plus variety fees and stuff like that. But if you're just doing straight coin grading, it's like 13 or 14 bucks a coin. Which is cheap for grading. And there's no membership fees or any of that stuff. But ANAX has a $500 max value on each coin that you can send in. And I was looking at CoinFacts, and some of this pre-33 gold I have, even though it's only like, $300 in gold, if it grades out even at a XF, could be worth, $900 or $1,000. So I was like, well, I can't even send that in, but it made me get interested in trying to send in an order again. I've been talking about it for a few months, and I've just never pulled the trigger on it. Yeah, shoot me a link, Eagle Hoarder. Would love to see it. So Ricky, I like raw coins too, but I've got some older stuff that, the grade could mean the difference between it being a $100 coin and being a $400 coin. And if I can spend 14 bucks to find out, I'll do that all day. Yeah, it did say U.S. Mint coins, and the pre-33 gold, though, I think is U.S. Mint, but I could be wrong about that, and it may not work for gold. You might be correct about that, too. So, Ricky, that was something else. Again, I took my coins to the coin shop, and the guy, he looked at them for like 1 second and was like, these are all cleaned. And I'm like, you didn't even, put it to a loop. There's no way you could tell this was cleaned. But he's probably not wrong. And I'll be honest, I'm okay if it came back, cleaned, whatever, XF detail or AU detail. At least I would know, All right, that was a 74D. We'll scope it. I'm just desperate to find a DDO. Yeah, I just kind of refuse to spend the fees on PCGS. I remember trying to, starting to put together what it would cost me to send in like 10 coins at PCGS. And when I got done, I was at several $100s and just kind of went, yeah, I'm not going to do that for these coins that I want to get graded. And I know you get like 4 vouchers or whatever when you sign up for your membership, and that can cover quite a bit, but I still just, I don't know. I was turned off by all the junk fees that PCGS seems to have embedded in their process. So up here on roll 34. Yeah, there's a guy I watch from time to time, Rocky's Ramblings. He's got an interesting channel. I don't know his whole backstory, but the dude has just, he's got to have tens of thousands of dollars worth of Morgans. He's a Morgan dollar guy, and he seems to always have a bazillion coins off to various grading companies to get graded, and it's been interesting watching him kind of learn the grading. I think he always had a handle on the grading, but used to be way off. Like before he would send stuff in, he'd be like, oh, all these are going to come back MS64, and they would all come back, you know, MS61 or 62. And over the course of the last year to 18 months, he's gotten really good about picking out the coins that, and actually calling it up front. You know, this will be a 62, this will be a 64. And if you're a grading person, he's got a great channel for watching graded Morgans. And I'm just shocked at how expensive some of the graded Morgans can get. All right, that's roll 35. We're getting through here. We're going to scope these, and then we'll move on to the next 15 rolls and dumps. This is just not the box, man. This is not what I wanted to bring on here tonight and go through. It's not. No silver, no errors, no varieties, no nothing. Old Bell, it worked. What did you have to do, Old Bell? Is Crafty Dragon in? Hey, Crafty Dragon. Well, Roy, they're not all CCs. I mean, oh, shoot. There's, you know, there's a lot of better date Morgans, and don't ask me what they all are because I don't have them memorized, but, you know, the CCs obviously command a lot of money, but, you know, if you have the right, you know, O mint mark or whatever, San Francisco mint mark on the right Morgan and get it in an MS62 or 63, you know, they can be $700, $800, $900,000 coins. They can be worth a pretty penny. 85. Okay, let's do some scoping. What's up, Crafty Dragon? Yeah, some VAMs would be nice. I have one Morgan VAM, but the coin's not in that great a shape. I mean, I've put it aside. I think I put it in a flip or a capsule. I can't remember what I put it in, but I went through. I've got like 2 tubes of Morgans, 2.5 tubes of Morgans, and I had one VAM. It's the extra ear. I don't remember what year it is, but it's got an extra ear. So that's kind of neat. So Roy, what I would do is get you a red book or go to PCGS, go to their price guide. You know, go through the price guide for all the Morgans you have, you know, specific to the mint mark, and then look for the quality you think it is and go, you know, whatever. I think it's an AU50, but, you know, it could be as low as an XF, whatever, 35 or 40, and then look at the price differential between the two. And, you know, if it's significant between the two, it might be worth getting graded. If it's a difference between 65 and 75, well, that's probably not worth your time or money to get it graded. But, you know, if it's an XF30, it's $65. If it's an MS63, it's $1,700. Well, yeah, maybe that's worth sending in. That might be interesting to have looked at. And of course, if you have a good local coin shop, it can't hurt to take it in there and say, is it worth getting any of these graded? Because they'll usually be pretty straight up with you. I took all my Morgans in, and the guys looked at it, and he very quickly separated them into 2 piles and was like, keep these separate from these because these are your better dates, but none of them are worth getting graded. And I went, okay. And then use that as sort of my now target. So a VAM is I forget exactly what it stands for, but it's basically a variety. So there's lots of different VAMs on the Morgan dollars, lots and lots of them. And most people hunt for the top 50 VAMs. And if you just Google like top 50 Morgan VAMs, you'll find a website that has pictures and everything. Thanks, American Eagle Hoarder. I'll check that out. So Haley is saying CAC. Yeah, I've heard of CAC. I've not used them. I've not used anybody. I have to give them a look as well. So Variety Vista is great for regular coinage. I don't think it's great for Morgans though. Not in my opinion. There's the VAM World or whatever the website is. I forget. That's my preferred site for Morgans. But Variety Vista is great for everything else. We got 15 rolls left, folks. And I just think Pops had a really good find in his next to last roll, so there's always the possibility. It was a long time ago, and I remember I had like 2 streams in a row where we found silver in roll number 49 or roll number 50. So that's always a pleasant surprise. Yeah, I think it is VAM World coin flip. So, hey, American Eagle Hoarder, I was actually looking at your channel the other day because I was trying to find some info about your printer and stuff. Are you, for your channel, I know you do a lot of live streams. Are you looking to, because your content seems to be more geared towards your 3D printing, but your live streams I think are more geared towards coin roll hunting. Are you thinking about specializing in any one of those, or are you just doing whatever you feel like and it doesn't matter? I'm just curious because it was, as I was going through it, I was like, man, there's more 3D printed stuff on here than there is coins these days. Leroy Van Allen and George, I can't even say the guy's last name. Malice? Just curious, because I do love the 3D printing stuff. $11 rolls left. This is roll number 40 right here. We're back on some of the newer coins. Just the videos lately are 3D printing because it's super easy to upload them, but streams are mainly my bank hunts and seeded roll hunts that I came up with, and shorts are whatever and everything. All right. Yeah, I've seen some of your seeded roll hunts. I've thought about getting in on them. I've just never done it. It's kind of an interesting idea. Sorry, I'll go back and do that later. It's an interesting idea because you know up front that, hey, I'm buying into some rolls, and I know that there's randomly we know there's going to be whatever 30 silvers spread across these 50 rolls. It's an interesting idea. VarietyVista.com, you do not need to be a member to see the various varieties. It should be free and open to the public. That is true. Guaranteed silver. I wish there was some guaranteed silver in these rolls. It's making me a little frustrated, actually. All right, roll number 42. Well, so it's still, so Julianne, what I would say here, and again, I think it's a really neat idea American Eagle Hoarder came up with, and I think he may be the only one on YouTube doing it. So think about lottery tickets, right? So lottery tickets may say 1 in 4 is a winner. That doesn't mean if you buy 4, you're going to win, right? You might have to buy 5 to win. You might have to buy 8 to win. Heck, in a really bad set of lotto tickets, you might have to buy 10 or 12 to win. And I think it's taken that same concept, right? It's saying, whatever, I'm going to take my 20 silver coins, and I've got 14 40s and 6 90s. I don't know how he separates it. And those are randomly distributed across the 50 rolls in the box, right? Or however many rolls he's going to do for that hunt. You might get lucky and get a roll that's got 10 silvers in it. You might buy 10 rolls and get no silvers. So there's still, I think, some thrill there, right? It's just, you know you're not going to invest in that and get a box with 300 silvers in it because you know up front there's only going to be 20 silvers to spread around. Whereas that's where, to me, the thrill of the box is. You don't know if you're going to get 0, 1, or 50. But with AEH, you know there's going to be silver somewhere in that hunt. All right, gang, look at that. Dumps is a winner. Hip, hip. It took us almost 100 rolls, whatever this is, 94 rolls. But we got you, brother, right there. 40% silver. Let's take a look at it together. Now I'm going to eat my hat. I'm not wearing a hat, but I will eat somebody's hat if that is not a 40% silver when we get to it. I'm going to go through it the slow way just to make you guys wait. So this is roll number 44. So this is 94 rolls into this hunt to get to, there it is right there, a 1967 40% silver. Listen, well, you just hear that extra little cling. So again, for some of you new folks, do it up here. That's clad silver. Just rings very, very differently. So, Dumps, you got some silver, brother. You have a Sweaty Braves hat. So luckily I don't have to eat it because I was right. That was going to be some 40% silver, and there are 6 rolls left. And Dumps did call we would find silver in the bottom half of the box, so there could be more coming. So Dumps, hopefully you're still here. I'd hate for you to have missed it. He probably, the worst part is he probably got an ad right when we were doing this. And I got to update the board. We got to make this official. You wanted to see me eat a hat. That's too funny. We're up to 6 of those. And 1 of those. All right, here we go. Roll number 45. So, Dumps, hopefully you're still in the chat. Let us know you're still here, but you have found, sir, a 40% silver $50. Hat eating vid at 16,000 subs. I'll tell you guys what, I would love to do one video. I say just one, but once you get one, you want them all. But I would love to have a video go viral and get a few 100,000 views just to see what that felt like. I've had a short go semi-viral and get 200,000 or 300,000 views. But I would love for one of my long-form videos to go nuts and do that. That'd be a wonderful thing. There he is. There's Dumps. You got you a silver, brother. Oh, I thought we were going to have another one, but I think that's just miscolored. It's like greenish. I think that's regular half. And don't forget, we still have probably about 10 NIFCs, or not NIFCs, sorry, potential varieties to look through. All right, 4 rolls left. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there is our empty box. Want there to be more silver in there for you. So somebody asked about finding Morgan dollars and stuff. I forget who asked the question. Every time I ask for the big dollars and somebody says they have some, I get so excited. And I have not found so much as a silver, 40% silver Ike at the bank. I've gotten, you know, 40, 50, 60 individual Ikes at a bank before. But they're always common date, no San Franciscos, no silver, none of that. And I have heard of people going into the bank and, you know, saying, hey, do you have big dollars? And stumbling across, you know, a dozen or 20 or 30, you know, Morgans that somebody's turned in or peace dollars that someone's turned in. And the teller didn't know any better. Just knew that they were worth $1 and took them. I would love that to be me one day. Not turning them in, but finding them. So many coins to scope. We're up to about 20-ish coins to scope. That's okay, Roy. I'm glad it was somebody. It just never happened to me. Oh, I just desperately want one more silver. Come on. Tease us with just one. Okay, Dumps, last shot. Last shot, here we go. And we got no silver left in here. $82 with an FG, $72D with an FG. All right. So we got a bunch of this stuff to scope. So the way, I'm losing $50 everywhere. So the way I normally do this, you weren't skunked, so we don't do a 90, but what I will do is match your 40% to get you close to a 90. So you don't go home completely empty-handed there. And you know what? I'll throw in a dime for you as well, and I think that'll be about the same as getting a 90% silver half out of it. You want the 2017 or no, Dumps? Let me know. Again, it's yours. I'm just asking if you want it, because if you don't want it, I won't put it in the package. And if you want this 77 rainbow, I'm happy to throw it in. I think it was man-made. You know, no real value there, but if you like it, I'm happy to send it. In the meantime, thanks and no. All right, very good. Let me get through these and see if maybe we got lucky here and have some sort of variety that we just haven't seen yet. No to the toner as well. All right, man. Well, I just wanted to offer, since we had it pulled aside. And do you have the, Dumps, do you have the 87 San Francisco proof? You do. Okay, I was going to throw one of those in there for you if you didn't have one, but if you've already got one, I'll just hang on to it. So for your other 40%, do you care what year it is? I would say anything but a 65, just because I'm short on 65s, but I should have plenty of everything else. If this wasn't so jacked up, I mean, this is definitely thick. It's missing, well, is it? Yeah, it's kind of missing the extra notch on the 4, but it wants to be a DDO. It's just thick. It doesn't actually have the doubling in it, so it might be like pre-DDO. So we got about 10 coins left. We had a bunch to look through there. It'd be nice if this one was a DDO. Sure, that was a 71. 71's another one of those ones that I'll look at hundreds and hundreds of these and not find a DDO, and then I'll find like 3 in a week. It's just really strange how it works. All right, so no go. So here's my envelope. So Dumps. So Dumps, did you say, yeah, 70. I think I have one of those. So let me rephrase. 66 to 69. You want the, hang on, I got to flip over here. You want the world's ugliest 1966 40%er? That's a winner right there. But yeah, I 66, 67, 68, 69. I've actually got full tubes of them in the other room I can go grab. So any is fine. All right. Here, let's do, this is a gorgeous 69. You can have this one. 69 Denver. Still really nice luster on it. That was found in a coin roll hunt. And then, just to get you kind of close to a 90, let's see what I got here. Something with some detail on it. Here's a 1959 Denver. Hopefully that's not worth a fortune and I'm giving it away, but a little 1959 Denver. Put it under the scope for you. It's a nice looking nickel. What do you think? Probably not full bands, but that'll get you there. All right, so that's your stuff. And let's do a little giveaway for end of stream, and then I'm going to call it a night so you guys can get to bed and I can get to bed. And it will take me a day or two to get all this stuff out the door. If not, it'll be this weekend, but it'll definitely get there. So, and Dumps, also just shoot me an email as a reminder. I obviously have the live stream, but it's just always nice to have an email to respond to. Let's see here. What are we going to give away? Let's do... It'll just be a little something, a little thank you for you guys hanging out with me all night. Wow, these are kind of older. All right, we're going to do... Get way in here. We're going to do a little 1964 dime. Little end of stream giveaway. So you guys start talking in the chat here. I'm going to get over here to the giveaway screen. All you got to do is just type anything. I'm not... hang on. I got to refresh this. All right. Now you guys can just type anything you want into the chat. It should be adding your names to the list. There we go. So you guys should see your names populating over here. You can type anything. We're going to do a little 64 dime, and let's do a okay looking. Let's come back over here, and we will do a little 1943 war nickel. It's a 43 Philly. So a little 90%, a little 35%. Little thank you guys for hanging out with us all night and enjoying the show. And so pops, we did a 90%. Dumps, we did a 40%. 90% dime. Hey, Michael Lofties, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate it. And then sorry, just making a note of what I've given away for my records. All right, so we got 20 eligible people. We got 23 watching, so we're about there. So I'm not going to prolong this any longer. We're going to go ahead and just roll this thing, and I'm going to switch over to the desktop so you guys can see. Hopefully you guys can see. I'm not giving a Morgan away. Sorry, David. Would love to do so, but can't get there. All right, good luck, everybody. Here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and oh, look at somebody got in at the last second, and we're gonna roll it. Oh, God. Quirky Quick Quip was the last person to enter. He was the last. He was number 21 to get in, and he won. Unreal. Unreal. All right, Quirky Quick Quip, congratulations. You don't need my tube. I need to get a little envelope and write your name down. I need you to send me an email and just claim your prize. I need your address so I know where to send this this giveaway. So give me just a second. I got to grab an envelope. Oh, toner next. No, I think I'm done. I've actually already thrown the toner back in the discard bin here, but we got Quirky, Quick, Quip. Now let me do this so you guys can see over here. There's your little envelope. We're going to throw your two things in here. Again, claim your prize. Make sure I get a mailing address, and I'll get this out to you when I get everything else out the door. We have reached the end of the show, end of the live stream. While I have all you guys here, I did want to just say thank you guys so much for joining. And Quirky, you've won before, I think, and I think it's crazy you were last one in, but congratulations. Thank you guys all for hanging out with me all night. It's been a lot of fun. I know most of you have been here. And Quirky, I know you've been in and out, but most of you guys have been here all night, and I really appreciate it. This just makes it so much more fun when we have a crowd to interact with. I really appreciate the donations tonight. Thank you, Pops Gone Wild and Dumps15 for your donation to the channel. And like I said, I'll make sure you get tracked shipping of your items out to you as soon as I can. It'll maybe be a couple of days, but it'll definitely get out the door. I'm here for a few more minutes, so if you guys have any other questions, anything you want to know, any feedback, any really whatever, because I'll be here for just a few minutes cleaning up. But I'm done with giveaways. We're not hunting anything else. I don't have any idea when my next live stream will be. I'm trying to think. I do have a couple of boxes on order that should come in Thursday or Friday. I actually I haven't done a dollar coin roll hunt in a very long time, and I did order a $1,000 box of dollars. I'm hoping those come in on Friday. They may not get delivered. We'll see. But I have them on order, so it'll be my first dollar video in probably 3 or 4 months. So I'm excited to be doing that and getting back to filling out those albums. I have a nickel video that I'll be posting probably not tomorrow, but day after. As for my memberships, for those of you guys that are members, you know this already. Outside of shorts, my long form content, all my members get to see that stuff usually the day before it posts for everybody else. That's just one of the main benefits. If you're one of the higher level people, I usually do like a $5 off coupon to my store. So anyway, check out my memberships if you want. Roy, I've been looking for that Cheerio Sacagawea for a very, very long time. I've never found it. Jason, what are my thoughts on dipping proofs? Rocky's Ramblings has done something recently on MS70 and Easy Est. I use Easy Est to brighten up silver finds and coin roll hunts. Not all of them, but many of them. And Rocky has proven, even at PCGS, that a dipped proof coin, a dipped Morgan, if done properly, they will not detect that as cleaned. They see it as restored. But it is all about doing it correctly. So I personally do dip some things. I have some older stuff from like the 1800s and 1900s that I will not put that anywhere near any kind of dip, or like an MS70 or anything like that. I want it to keep its natural patina. I don't want to ruin that history. But, you know, something like this, if it's in great condition and I want it to look a little bit nicer, sure, I'll drop that in some Easy S to make it look nicer. Morgans, you could get away with it, but it depends on the coin and how much you're willing to gamble on if it were to get detected as quote-unquote cleaned. But me personally, I have no issue with it. I dip stuff, but I do have my limits. Just got a 71D and weighed at 11.5, almost 11.6 instead of 11.3. Is that an error or just the weight variation? It's a weight variation more than anything, Gabriel. If you Google it, it'll tell you, you can see what the variation in weight on every major U.S. mintage coin, and it's a higher tolerance than you might think. A 71D that weighed 12.5, you probably have a silver planchet on your hand, and that'd be worth quite a bit of money. And I think that does exist. I think they did error some 71Ds on silver planchet. Yeah, I've dipped a couple of Morgans, but they were 21s, and they were already in really nice shape. And they just needed a little bit of kind of luster restored, so I dropped them in Easy Est for about 5 seconds. Rinsed them heavily under water to kill any additional reaction. And then they were kind of patted dry, if you will, no rubbing. And then they were cured under basically bulbs. So it was, so we didn't get any water spots or anything like that on it. I didn't want fingerprints. I didn't want, stuff from a microfiber cloth. It was really, whatever, pressed between 2 paper towels that were kind of cloth paper towels, and then sort of heat dried, if you will. What's up, Diggin' Dave? I was talking about you earlier, man. Welcome to the stream. We're at the end. I'm just answering questions here. We're all wrapped up. But that's too bad you didn't find that S. If you guys don't know Diggin' Dave, he's crazy, man. That guy, he goes through more change than anybody I know. He's growing like a weed over there at his channel. So, all right, it is, what time is it? Almost midnight. I had so much fun. I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off from here, but thank you guys for joining. Really, really appreciate it. And again, one last thank you to our donators tonight, Dumps15 and Pop's Gone Wild. With that, you guys take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.